Hello guys, welcome to the question 19 of our web programming sessions. So the question is, a biology tuition teacher has decided to present a web application to the students who learn online during this pandemic season to see their examination results. Imagine that you are a freelance software engineer and the teacher has seen your work on your YouTube channel. He decided to hand over the work to you. So read the requirements carefully and make the application the teacher needs. And the requirements are: create a registration page, login page, view results page, and add results page. Registration page should contain the student's name, email address, and password. Login credentials should be email and password. The teacher has fixed email and password to login as email as admin@gmail.com and the password as admin@123. If the teacher logs into the system, he should be redirected to the add results page. In the add results page, the teacher should be able to add students' results as student's name, examination date, result release date, marks, and grade. When a student logs in to the system, the student should be redirected to the view results page. In the view results page, there should be results viewed in a table of the students who logged in. So let's see the database now. And in here, the marks table is like this, where it contains name, exam date, the result release date, mark, and grade. And the student table is like this, where it has the email as the primary key and name and password. So now let's view the answer of this question. And first, we will be redirected to this login page, and as a new user or else as a student, I'm going to register. So in here, I have given this name field to be with the name and surname, as there may be some students with the same first name. So we are going to identify a student with his name and surname. So I'm going to give the name as this. As you can see, I have validated every field like this. And the registration is completed. And now I can come here. So for now, I logged in as a teacher. So when I log in as a teacher, you can see every field is validated. And also this wrong. And now I can log in. And I will be going to the results adding page. So now I'll add the results. You can see here also I have validated every field. Now we are going to register this result. And marks added. So the fields will be cleared. And now let's log in as a student. So I'll be removing this cookie, which have the details of the teacher sign in. And now let's log in as that student. So here we have the result viewing page, and you can see here only Tharaka Sankalpa's exam results will be displayed. However, in our database, we have another result. So let's try login as that student. And now that student details will be here. So in this student page, I have used a button to end that student session. So in the teacher login, we can use that button as well. And in the code section, I'll display how to give that button to this teaching section as well. So now let's check the codes. So here we have this function where I have this database connection made like this, and go into the insert, update and delete queries. I have this function, and for the search queries I have this function going on. So now let's go to the register page, and this is our registration page. You can see like this, and in our registration page I have this function called add. So the add function is like this, where I got these values which is sent to the process PHP, and in the process PHP I have got those values, validated the fields and the queries like this, and I got that function with this require a.php and assigning that class which have this function, and giving that function with the parameter q that has that insert query, and the query will be executed within this function, and the response text will be 1, and if the text is 1, alert will be come up saying the registration is complete, and I will be redirected to the login page. So the login page is like this, and in here I have this log function for this login process. So in this login function I have got the values which I have sent to the QS19 process PHP, and in it I have got these values, set those validations, and in an if condition I have got this email and password of the teacher to be checked, and if that email and password is equal to these credentials, the response text will be 1. So in this log script says if the text is 1, an alert will come up saying I can go to the result setting page and will be redirected to the result setting page. If this email and password is not equal to that credentials, an else function will continue on, and in that else section I have this database connection and the query here, the result set, and the number of rows are counted, and since our email address is the primary key, I have choose to give this if function whether the result set number of rows equals to count 1, that user will be logged in, and the user details will be fetched and assigned to the session called student. So in here, to display that the function A and this database queries are the same, so we can use both these styles when giving database connections. So this is the usual method, and giving a function like this is the PHP normalizations. So in here you can see I have commented how I am going to get this search query with this function which I have stated in the a.php. So I can choose to comment this section and uncomment this section to get the same result. And now let's go to the log script chase. So if the response text is equal to 2, which means that person is a student, so that user will be redirected to the view.php. So in the view.php you can see I have got this session where I can get the student name. So in this view page I have this design, and here I have a div which have the ID D1 that contains all this table where I get the result is from. Here you can see how I gave that search query using that a.php and that function. So this is how I got this table, and in here you can see I gave the search query with the help of that session name I got. And in here I have a function called rem, which means the remove function. Using that I can remove the session from the web page, which will destroy the sessions and destroy all the cookies set in those sessions, and I will be redirected to the login page. And this is our marks adding page. So in here you can see I have this mark function, and in the mark function I have got these values, send those to this mark PHP, and in this mark PHP I got those values again and validated those. And again here I have this query to insert details to this table in this database, and you can see the function I have used to execute this query. In here you can see the require.php and the code execution with the help of this class X function IUD. So the response text is equal to 1 once the insert query is executed. And now if the response text is equal to 1, an alert will come saying marks are added, and the clearM function works. In this clearM function, all these fields in the marks adding section will be cleared. So now let's check how to destroy the session in our results adding section which contains the teacher's credentials. So in here I am setting a session called admin. Where I give the detail I got from the email. And now I'm going to give this same function in the results adding page as well. So now let's check how it's going on. So now I'm in this results adding page, and let's see how it will be when I click this home button. So the session is destroyed and I will be redirected to this login page. So that's how I got this session destroying, which means a logout function from those pages. So that's all for this question 19. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.